What up? This is Finance, Fitness, and Folk channel. We discuss finance, a little bit of fitness, talk about some folk. So in today's episode, I'm going to discuss why certain wealthy people smoke cigars. So admin notes, thanks again to all the subscribe to the channel. I'm able to keep putting these videos out. Give you leverage to better yourselves. So let's get into it. So why do I say that some wealthy people, not all, but some wealthy people smoke cigars? So as a disclaimer, I'm definitely not a person that's going to advocate or encourage you to smoke a cigar. It's a personal choice, but by no means am I going to sit here and say that cigar smoking is healthy for you or is something you should indulge in if you gain wealth. That's not what I'm saying. I had said on a video a while ago, some months ago, that I had quit smoking years ago, but since that time, I've actually have picked up cigar smoking. I don't do it often, but I have found out that it does relaxes me. And with the some of the what I would say mental issues, right? With having PTSD and some other things, that's one of the things that I chose to use as an outlet. It's not a great outlet, obviously, but like there's something I indulge in sometimes. Relieve the stress and to slow down. And to just ponder on certain things, right? So when it comes to wealth, and when it comes to other people smoking cigars, I'm pretty sure you've seen, or some folks have probably seen movies before where you have like all these rich people around a table or something like that, or like folks on a golf course or something like that, and they got a stogie. That's another word of saying cigar. And they're just conversating, making money transactions, talking business, things of that nature, right? So one of the reasons why I would say that it's associated with wealth is because cigars are not a cheap thing. Your average cigar that's a decent cigar may range between $8 to $10. This Jaime Garcia, I know is it going to focus? Yeah, and I think the words are backwards, but this Jaime Garcia is made by a company called My Father, and it ran about $10, right? I have smoked a cigar that cost $25 before, and it's all to your taste and to your liking. But I would say that just as a side note, just because a cigar is very expensive doesn't mean that it's going to be a very good cigar. I smoked cigars that were $8 and they were excellent, and I've smoked cigars that were like $15 to $18, and I never smoked them again because they didn't taste right to me. My palate just wasn't that great with them. But getting back to the subject, they definitely can be costly. Like your average box of cigars, which run between, I think, 15 to 20 cigars in one wooden box, may run you sometimes $200, maybe more, right? So somebody that is trying to build wealth probably shouldn't be, a indulgent cigar smoker, right? Also, you got to understand that premium cigars, like the one that I have now, they're hand rolled. These are not processed. This is not processed tobacco. Meaning that, like, if you have a cigarette, a cigarette is manufactured. I mean, it's real tobacco inside the paper roll of the cigarette, right? But a lot of this stuff is automated, meaning that it's ran through a factory, and they're making millions upon millions of cigarettes a day in these factories. Whereas a premium cigar is literally hand rolled piece one by one by a expert hand roller in whatever country it comes from, whether it be South America, Cuba, or some of these other countries that may roll cigars. And there are some companies here in the States that actually roll cigars as well. So one of the things you definitely have to do when you think about smoking a premium cigar, somebody literally took their time to hand roll this cigar. And it's an appreciation thing. So I think with people that are wealthy, they kind of appreciate the fact that there's somebody that is probably in some type of labor job rolled this cigar, and it's not something you can actually just learn and you be an expert within a couple weeks. Some of these expert cigar rollers they might be years before they're able to roll one that's perfect. So that's another aspect of wealth. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things that it becomes a conversation piece to a certain degree. You have folks that have a lot of wealth, a lot of money, and they smoke a cigar in a cigar lounge or some setting, and they could be conversating about, hey, how do you like this cigar, or what kind of business do you run, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It really becomes a situation to where, like, there's so much knowledge that are transferred between men when cigar smoking is indulged, and trust me, there's a lot of money that has exchanged hands over a cigar break. I promise you they have, right? Case in point, Michael Jordan. He has been an avid cigar smoker, even when he was playing basketball. Some folks may not know that, because I know some of my young viewers, they may wasn't even born, or they were very, very small when Jordan was still in the league. But he was a cigar smoker, and I think I read an article one time where he can smoke anywhere between 6 to 8 a day. And that's kind of crazy. I don't think I would do that. Like, I may have one a week. Sometimes it may be weeks before I smoke one, right? Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to do that. that's just way too much. But think about how much money he has to have in order for him to smoke that much. Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Jordan is not smoking a $20 cigar. He might be smoking something that's very premium. There's cigars out there that run between $200 $300. I promise you. You know what I'm saying? Like, cigar smoking is just not. It's not a cheap habit at all. And sometimes you might have to get a humidor, meaning it's like it's almost like a refrigerator to a certain degree. But it's not a fridge. It doesn't have Freon or anything like that in it, right? It's basically like a cabinet that is temperature controlled inside. So you put the cigar in there, and it has to stay a certain temperature. It doesn't dry out, and it doesn't get stale, right? So that's one of the reasons why wealthy people may smoke cigars, or able to, because they're able to buy a humidor, which are not cheap either, right? Sometimes it can be very costly for them to even store the cigars. So that's all to say that in the aspect of cigar smoking, when you actually acquire wealth, there are just certain things that you're gonna have access to that you didn't have access to. When you did not have wealth and did not have money, meaning that exotic cars, nice homes, maybe able to put a pool in the back of your house, something like that, right? Once again, like I said, I'm not advocating cigar smoking whatsoever, but this is one of those things that you may see wealthy people do, right? And I've met plenty of women that smoke cigars too. I've seen it kind of weird when I see women smoke cigars, but do what you do. I'm not hating on you at all, right? But yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, and just maybe some folks can understand the reason why cigar smoking is one of the things that wealthy people indulge in. And by no means am I saying I'm wealthy at all. I'm not saying that at all. But what I will say is that, I have acquired some money, right? Some pocket change, my grandmother would say, right? To be able to indulge in these things sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And I'll leave it with this one note. Anything you do in life, whether it be cigar smoking, which is a vice, let's be real about it, right? It is a vice. Or anything that will take wealth away from you when you're trying to build wealth, you might want to have some second thoughts about doing that, right? Because if I was sitting here broke right now with no money in my bank, without any type of steady income, there's no way I'd be sitting here smoking a cigar. There just isn't. I'm literally smoking away $10 and some change, right? That $10 can go to something else. It can go to putting away for LOC, or gas money, so you can go ahead and do some Uber or some Lyft to start making money for yourself, right? So these are one of the indulgence that rich people may get into, or they may already been in it, and then they just able to indulge more because they have wealth now. But definitely do not do anything that's going to take wealth from you. Build wealth first, and then on the back end, you'll be able to indulge and enjoy things in life you may not been able to indulge before. In this case, cigar smoking. But once again, do it to your own how should I say, at your own risk, right? And just understand that Nobody's perfect. You have some people out there that have some vices out there in life that may not be that healthy or that great for them to do. But this is one of the ones that that actually relaxes me, and yeah, I mean, it just it helps me get some zen in my life to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? I do have some stress sometimes when it comes to making money, taking care of family and stuff like that. So every now and then I like to indulge in a smoke, maybe a glass of red wine. I stopped drinking long time ago for it's like hard liquor and beer. One thing I would say about beer is beer, especially IPAs. This for men. Beers with IPA beer actually has estrogen in it, meaning that it can actually lower your testosterone level when you drink beer. Case in point, IPAs. Now, I'm not saying that all beers are like that, but there is something in the way beer is produced that it actually can make your body produce estrogen. Not advocating that if you want to drink beer, you can drink beer. That's fine, right? I'm just giving you some notes as far as like the reason why you may have a low sperm count, because beer can raise your estrogen level. But on the flip side of that, cigar smoking actually raises your testosterone level. Do it to your own detriment, because I definitely don't have any qualms with what men do with their lives. It's all a personal choice. You know what I'm saying? You just have to live with the choices you have in life, and just be grateful that that the Lord has actually put you in a situation where you can actually do certain things that you may not be able to do before you was wealthy. All right, like, comment, subscribe. I endeavor to keep pushing you out. You leverage to better yourselves. Find it, fitness, and folk. Triple F. I'm gone.